When you think about us getting married, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Why?
And this is where I start crying. I just get so incredibly happy because I really thought that I really started to question whether or not I was actually going to get married. I knew that people wanted to marry me, but I knew that those prospects would not end in a happy marriage. And I've just never in my life been so happy and so content with someone. There's just a consistency and a peace that you bring to my life that was missing for so long. I mean, you know how volatile my past has been, and you were just amazing to me. And you just are the love of my life. I blurted it out that one time randomly, and there's nothing else but just pure joy that I've never in my life experienced, ever, you know? So, how about you? You probably won't cry like me, but tissue.
I think of just being able to have the mornings with you every day, and that's like my favorite thing. And you know, going to sleep, you know, together every night and making sure our butts touch.
Yes, we have to make sure our butts touch when we go to sleep.
And that's like simple, but I think for me it's like every morning I get to wake up next to you every day.
Yeah, it's pretty dope that like I wake up and I roll over and I see you, and it's every day is just this intense excitement when I wake up. And again, that's something else I've never experienced before, where it's like, even when we have tough conversations the night before and we, you know, I still get up and I'm like, oh, I'm crazy about her. She's like still here. This is awesome. So
yeah, for sure.
All right, describe what you most remember feeling from our first kiss. How do you feel about it now?
I remember feeling like, oh shit, I'm doing this. Like, oh my God, yes.
You had to tell the story though.
So we were at a bar and I was pretty drunk. Not
you weren't that
so drunk that I couldn't remember.
Right.
But I just remember, I don't know, because at our dinner beforehand, you were like, this is my first time seeing you after we met. You say, oh, by the way, I'm bisexual. And I was like, oh, word. Okay.
Hi, my name is Jasmine, and I'm bisexual.
Yeah,
and you have cool glasses. So.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And so then you ended up coming out with me a little later, and I was like, I'm going to just go for it. So I asked if I could kiss you, and you said, not in front of everybody. And so we went to another location.
Right, within the bar.
Yeah, to
smooch.
And it was really enjoyable, and I still feel really great about that. I think it's true to like us, and like I'm not that spontaneous of a person, and so that was a really spontaneous thing.
I know you're not really, you know, waking up and saying I want to take a lot of risks, but your confidence in our love is just amazing. It's always been like that since day one, or at least it seems like it's confidence. I know there were moments where like you kind of was like, okay, maybe. Right. But no, I mean, I'm glad you went for it, obviously.
I'll go for it every day, baby.
Yes.
Oh, what's one experience you wish I never had?
I hate to say it like this. There's actually quite a few.
Yeah.
How am I tearing up? Because these aren't my experiences, but I wish a lot of adults were kinder to you as a child. You sound like a really sweet kid. And I'm so sorry that they weren't kinder to you. I wish you didn't have to question your existence. I still worry about whether or not you will go to that dark place again. That's why I am a little like hard on you when you get hard on yourself, because honey, I need you here. And I don't want you to do anything. And I know with mental health, it can just really go down that spiral. And so I have to really check myself sometimes, because when you tell me these stories, I want to be the Herculean whatever and build a time machine and go back to these people and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She's a child.
Yeah.
She's a child, And I wish I was there in your darkest moment to tell you belong. You belong. You can take up space. You're entitled to joy, And I see how you still struggle in general, especially how people treated you as a child. And I see how you've grown so much in the past 3 years. I've seen how much you're such an advocate for these issues. Even if you don't know exactly how to plant your feet on the ground every single day, you still do it. You still get up, And it is definitely something I still worry about in the back of my head that I don't necessarily talk about as much because I don't want to trigger anything. But you made a promise to me that if you were to go back to that dark place, that you would tell me, because like I said, that would absolutely ruin me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I still promise.
Okay.
I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, better not. So,
you look crazy. No, you don't.
How do you think our different upbringing affects our relationship, and why? We kind of talked about this earlier.
Yeah. I think money is the biggest thing that is different, because we both had difficult childhoods for different reasons.
Different reasons, yeah. Similar, but still very different reasons.
I think that Black wealth is new to my side of the family, right? And I don't even know if I can categorize it as wealth, but we're okay.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so trying to build that up, because obviously we're 400 years behind.
Yeah, that whole 1619 thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that answers the
question.
Pregunta.
Okay. On the topic of class, do you still kind of feel like I think that? Do you still kind of feel like I feel that you are unintentionally looking down on my family background or upbringing? It's not that I thought that you did, but maybe do you feel like sometimes, do you feel more hyper aware of those comments that you might say in the future?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I it's never my intention to show my ass in that way with anyone, but especially you. And so that's something, I talk about privilege and things a lot in my work. And, I've always recognized being able-bodied and not having any visible disabilities, and knowing that I had access and stuff like that, but really digging deep into what has that allowed me, like, understanding that privilege and then, like, how I can make sure going forward that I am recognizing my privilege, but in a way that's helpful and not harmful. But no, I don't really think that you think I look down on your family, but I'm definitely a lot more aware of, like, maybe some of the things I say or even the activities that I want to do or what have you.
Yeah.
Ooh. When do you feel the sexiest around me, and what does it teach you about yourself?
When do I feel the sexiest around you? I had to think about that because I feel sexy a lot around you.
You are sexy a lot around me.
Yeah, when I explain something, whether it's an academic theory or just something I'm talking to my students about, or us watching a documentary and I'm like, oh yeah, I heard about X, Y, and Z. And I can tell you're really into it. I feel very sexy and just very in tune with you. And that makes me, what was the second part of the question?
What does it teach you about yourself?
Oh, it's okay to be smart.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but like,
no.
I think there is this, I think we still unfortunately live in a society where people are, I don't want to say intimidated, because I feel like that's a very superficial way to describe the complexities of people's feelings, insecure feelings about smart women.
Smart black women.
Smart black women. It's very affirming to me. It's okay to take up intelligent space, if you will, you know, and to share that with someone, because I've had numerous situations with previous partners and friends who it's like, oh wow, so it's actually it's a turn off to be smart.
Nope,
and
not for me.
And so I'm really happy that, because that's a big part of who I am.
Yeah,
I am intelligent, and so I just feel like you meet me where I'm at, and you don't feel like it's a thing that you have to conquer or you have to prove how smart you are.
No.
You know, so I really like that.
I mean, your intelligence like saved you in a way too, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I do like when you explain stuff to me. You have such a soothing voice.
Oh, wait, thank you.
And like I do like when you wear your hair like that, but you know that I like it when you have on no makeup, like maybe just mascara.
Yes.
That's when I'm like, ooh.
I should have done that today. Darn it.
Summertime fun. Oh wait. It's your
My turn? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you find most beautiful about my love? The most. I know there's so many, girl.
That it is very fierce.
Really?
Yeah, I think you love me in a very fierce way. I think you love me in a way that is with me even when you're not around. Like I think when I walk in the world, people know that I am loved.
You look really good in love.
I do. I feel good in love. I do.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of your love, I think I've felt more empowered.
And I don't like that word either.
I think I've just felt more bold in general in doing whatever the fuck I want to do, you know, and starting, going after the dreams that I didn't think that I could have. Why are you marrying me?
Oh. Because it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense, because it's good for us.
Yeah.
Because I want to have babies with you, whether that's human babies, dog babies, plant babies.
Right.
Some type of babies, you know, because you're literally the first person that I truly was like, I'm excited to have a life partner. Like, not like, okay, I should probably get one of those.
Right. Check it off the list.
Like, you're just, I don't know, there's just so many reasons why. There's not a reason to not get married to you. And I almost feel pressure when people ask me that question. Like, I have to have like this poetic, like,
yeah,
you know, I can't write poetry, girl. So like that's gonna be a lost cause, you know. But I don't have any reason not to marry you. So, of course.
Yeah.
I'm honored. I'm honored. I'll always be honored that you chose me. That, you know, as I say, the cool kid chose the nerd. And, like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is exactly how I would answer the question, like, why are you marrying her? Why wouldn't I? You know? Why would I want to miss out? Because you can't do it with both.
I can't.
Close.
Do you want to ask some of these questions to your significant other? Check out the And Couples edition at theskindeep.com/shop.